President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up to be a patriot. You have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
And why we should go through this rigorous, chaotic, demoralizing and inexplicable situation after much cogitation on this clandestine and surreptitious, furtive, he said, and I quote, "I am not a magician. Forgetting words are like egg. Once broken, they are gone. Once spoken, they remain indelible in the heart of man." Come to think of it, do they have the powers, the spiritualism, the abracadabra, the voodoo to perform the magic and as well transmogrifically transmute and transfigurate this ugly, debilitating and exasperating situation? I saw it. The locution, "I am not a magician," in its jocularity in quote 1. 2, the uncircumscribed bluster and in a vituperative ululation. I saw it in the hocus pocus explicandum, explication, elucidation, where we thought the shibboleth was a travesty and a parody to lampoon the masses expected a limousine from the government. After the miserly, the niggardly, the disappearing, the penurious, and the parsimonious, that I will say and remind us at this point in time that this is democracy. The government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Not oligarchy, plutocracy, and aristocracy. The catchword, the byword, the shibboleth, the locution, the conversion, the paroxysm, the spasm are counterintuitively excruciating, malodorous, horrendous, odoriferous, and odorous. But I pray that is so much acclimatized transmogrification, is so much acclimatized transmutation. It's not an act of sarcasm. Could it be that we are heading for better days? Could it be the political Moses that will take us to the promised land? Only on this note will I koto in Japoho, or else I will not koto in Japoho. Sententious, inarticulate, and uncommunicative on this act of recidivism, which is the verisimilitudinous xenophobic attack on my consanguinities, thinking it is a path to honorificability dignitatis. Honorificability dignitatis is a verbal prolixity, a sesquipedalian word, a state of achieving honors. Yes. You see, the vilification, language, jejun, wobicon, an obstinate conspiracy, melancholy that led to this cartel, nauseous, and miasmatic vituperative attack. This is barbaric and megalomaniacal. My pain is this. But I've refused to act. What a devitalizing, a petrifying, and a desiccating situation. To me, the belligerent, deleterious, cantankerous, and murderous annihilation, decapitation, obliteration, and mutilation of my consanguinity in their milieu is sardonic, opprobrious, malevolent, contumelious, erroneous, lugubrious, and clamorously exasperating. This impedimental, combustible, and volatile lemma, in its maximum exoneration, reminds me of the biblical Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. What germinated the abnegation and repudiation? What an academic mwahaha, academic yo-ho-ho, caused by these political yo-yos, political yobos, in their leadership rococo, leadership rababaration, in conjunction with administrative bemusement, holy poly, and discombobulation, in their obstreperous, malevolent shenanigan and hocus pocus agenda. Your boo-boo has poo-pooed into your business. The bifurcation and abdication of the vision in the name of honorificability to the dignitatis, just to scotch political points. Then floxina, sini hilipilificating. You see, the stilty, politicos of torrent rodomontates and defalcators that you and I know. The lab notation of their eleemosinaries, ostentatious and libidinous lifestyle shows that they are out. Oh, obliteration, mutilation, decapitation. Say no to this academic bantigism, academic noctambulism, and academic malocclusion, which their children are not part of. This impedimental, combustible, and volatile lemma is in a political hocomondogous muwe. Yes, the Muay Thai. Is in a political hocomondogous muwe. Yes, the Muay Thai. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political muahaha. Political yo, political holy poly. Tell Mr. President, we are tired of the mendacilloquence, prostitute, and zabanism. Yes, mendacilloquence, telling lies in an awful way, prostitute, propaganda. Is in a political hocomondogous muwe. Yes, the Muay Thai. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political muahaha. Political yo, political holy poly. Tell Mr. President, we are tired of the mendacilloquence, prostitute, and zabanism. Yes, mendacilloquence, telling lies in an awful way, prostitute, propaganda. This is erotic, vivacious. This is voluptuous. Who is this clamorously glamorous and a felicitous latitudinaria? Could she be a Vigo in Tata or a Tyro? Immaculately, a corroboration of a captivating and a charming. Oh my God, this is sonorous, salubrious, and a revivalistic resonance. Let's make this moment reactivationistic, tenacious, and agglutinative. Pardon my manners, I am not a twaddler, but a logomaniac, a sesquipedalian, a rooting tooting, benevolent and not malevolent, a prodigy, a coruscate, an enigma, a virtuoso who doesn't believe in the male chauvinism. And I reside in a collocation of the intellectual bulldozers, not mediocres. I am not into malebranchism. I am only here to stir up your emotional rococo and scare away the yobos for me to fall into lasuration with this voluptuous, erotic, and vivacious inamorato. Never mind, I unleash my grandiloquence and vocabularies in chain, like the organic molecules, reminding you of the movement of your slowpogans in the days of the Alaquata main. What? My amorousness, gregariosity, avariciousness, and cupidity has led me into the transcendental and transformation of this inoculated concupiscence, where I saw my consanguinity's advice has been vituperative, contumelous, and contumacious. Oh, what an irreparable relegation. Oh, yes. No, it reminds me of the biblical Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani and the musical Emi Demi Semi Quaver. Oh, could it be melodramatic? Could it be mendacious, meretricious, rather veracious? Now I'm in a limbo and country. What an emotional perturbation. What a petulant and venomous egoistic deflection. I thought I have found my Val. Oh, now I have to kowtow in this poho. I must kowtow in this poho.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. No matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. These are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much
important. His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as the sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
TGIF, they say, in Liberia, Monrovia. Thank God it's Friday. Yes, we joined that chorus to say thank God it's Friday, but we look back over our lives and say, thank God we had MTGI, MTGIT, TGI, WTGIT, and TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Good afternoon, people. Thank you so very kindly that you joined us. Real Talk Kings 88.5 on this 30th day of July 2026, the reign of Judah Christopher Nebuchadnezzar. Yes, that's what we are. Kings 88.5. We go real, as always, fearlessly. I'm Sam Andrews. Grateful we are to God Almighty, the creator and sustainer of the universe, faithful God, never reneging on his promises made to his people, but fulfilled every word that he uttered in the fullness of his time. We have that God as our God. We are grateful. We acknowledged his presence hovering us and everything that he has done and continues to do for us. He is the good God, the only God of the universe. And thank you to people, great fans, supporters, uh, nationalists, patriots of Liberia and Kings FM 88.5, wherever you are listening from, wherever you are watching from around the world. We appreciate your presence on the show. Thank you for always coming on, sacrificing, putting in your time, energy, and resources. We acknowledged all that you go through just sacrificially to get the info. And we are under obligation to do the needful for you people, for the good of this country. So thank you for coming on. Too, let's acknowledge few of your time is of the essence. We're in a mystery culture. Praises all over the place. Even Satan is praised. Kevin, Fifth Kevin Bappin, Nimba United, Yasser Sharif, USA, Montonian Son, Broville, Henry T. Toe, Caldwell, Cyrus Tucolon, Bombing County, Silva, Washington, Broville City, Fatu Sharif, Mamin Jackson, Louis Logan, Nima County, Philip Tugba, Dallas, Texas, USA, Samson Carey, Batnasville Township, District 11, Stanley Bozo, Congress City, David Givlaw, Forrest Cooper, Firestone, Habel, Tobasi, A. CNN, Menza, Grand Capeman County, Royal Always VAR, David Givler, Mandra Market, Waterside, Patricia Taru, Brisbane Roar, Broville, Malu Fofana, 20th Street. Malu, it's been a very long time. What happened? Hope that everything is okay. It's been a long time we've not acknowledged your presence. Hope that you are having a wonderful time. But it's good to see you. Malu had never missed out for years, months, weeks, a couple of weeks she had not been on, so we must acknowledge. Also, Navarro's M hasn't been on for a while now, but I guess everyone is kind of busy and have to attend to whatever you got to deal with existentially. But good to have you people on. Malu, Navarro's, welcome. Patrick Kamara, Johnsonville, Princess Elpidex, Ganta, Nimba County, Jonathan Bolo, USA, Joshua Morris, Rehab Community, Emmanuel Queer, David Dane Town, Paris Lobot, USA, New Jersey, Rita Christine Hits, Massachusetts, my dear sister Orita Sonaway Choir. Hope that you are faring good, and thank you for everything. The chairman himself, Roman Rico, Kenneth Ball, Latupa, chairman for life, the one and only chairman, the common citizen chairman, Block Titan Intellectual Center, Block Titan, District 13. Susanna Tofula, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. All of you good people, let's get out of Liberia briefly, and then we can deal with what we've got on our plate. Even Satan is praised. So receiving praise doesn't say that you have done the right thing. Zimbabwe's opposition had called for nationwide demonstrations on today, July 31st, against constitutional amendments that could extend President Emmerson Mnangagwa's rule beyond his current term. Did you get that? Zimbabwe's opposition had called for nationwide demonstrations, not demonstration, but demonstrations today, July 31st, against constitutional amendments that could extend President Emmerson Mnangagwa's rule beyond his current term. Spain has deployed military reinforcements to the North African enclave of Ceuta after a massive surge in migrant crossings from Morocco. Authorities say tens of thousands of people entered the territory within hours, creating what local officials described as humanitarian and security crisis. According to the BBC, at least 34 migrants died attempting the crossing, with reports indicating that some drowned while others were caught in a stampede near the border. Ceuta's regional government says the number of arrivals is equivalent to a significant portion of the city's population, overwhelming local resources. And Ghana's government has backed a proposal to extend the presidential term to 5 years and lower the minimum age for candidates from 40 to 35. The proposals, which stem from a constitutional review initiated by President John Dramani Mahama, will give administrations more time to implement policies, arguing that much of the current four-year term is consumed by transition activities and election preparations. Parliament's term will also be extended to 5 years under the proposal. The proposed changes must still pass through several stages, including a national referendum that is expected to take place in 2027. Those are some of the developments unfolding out of Liberia. Two events we must talk about, then we get to the local scene. Zimbabwe's opposition calling for nationwide demonstrations to block extending the rulership of President or ruler Emmerson Mnangagwa. African leaders have this strong power instinct to stay on for the longest. And that is why Africa, especially West Africa, is not a safe place for the people and the very ones who want to stay in power eternally. They will move to amend the Constitution. They will use their surrogates in Parliament. They will use other people to give the reasons why the Constitution should be amended, why they should stay in power, and on, without thinking of the repercussions or the crisis that will come from that. The opposition in that country stood up. I think the opposition here though we are not in the time of extending the Constitution, even though Unity Party in opposition yesterday had this myth, this unsubstantiated claim, quote unquote, propaganda that President Weah wanted to make himself life president. He was going for third term, fourth term, fifth term, sixth term. The current situation demands that something be done. Protest is in twofold: talking and acting. Protest by talking is what is referred to as advocacy protest. You see something that is wrong, unethical, immoral, it has a damaging effect, and you speak against it so that it doesn't take place, it doesn't materialize. You are protesting. That kind of advocacy, you call that voice or words advocacy. You are speaking out. Practical advocacy or pragmatic advocacy is what is referred to as demonstration. And that demonstration is always peaceful. It's called nonviolent demonstration. But the government will give the picture or the impression to the people that violence is, or demonstration rather, is not far from violence. It could degenerate into anything, so people should not protest. The guys in Zimbabwe, the opposition political parties stood up. They are still standing up against any unconstitutional abuse. The guys here have to stand up to this government. They don't have to keep the atmosphere as if nothing wrong is happening. But they have to face up to this government. This government is having a walk in the park, and they living with the impression that everything they are doing is right. They have committed no wrong. They have done nothing wrong since they took the helm of power or the presidency. An illusion you don't want to live with, because it's a serious mental, serious debilitating disease. The opposition will have to face this government. This government is having too much of sleep. Then it should be worrying. And this goes also to every person who, your observation, what you see, what you know, not right, to speak out. Don't be afraid. Don't hold back. In life, you have to stand up for something. You aren't a human being when you cannot stand up for what you believe is wrong, for what you also believe is right. Knowing a wrong act and not talking about it, not talking against it, is cowardice. You lack the boldness called bravery to speak out, fearing that if you did, the other people will say all manner of things against you. There is not a single person on earth who is holy or neutral. Let me say neutral. There is no neutrality No neutrality in reality. A neutral person has not been created by God. God himself is not a neutral person. He is the sided God. He takes side. Neutrality is hypocrisy, is sycophants, is pretense. We've got two sides, God and Satan, heaven and hell. You cannot claim to be a neutral person of heaven and hell. You are either for Satan's kingdom, Satan's disciple, or you are for God's kingdom, God's disciple. I'm using this to give you a picture that neutrality does not exist. Neither does fear exist. But you bring fear into whatever the situation you are faced with or that unfolds itself, and you use that not to speak out, not to act. Look around you. Look in this country. See the thousands of sycophants and cowards, quote unquote, neutral. You either take a side. That is why God is convincingly evidential. It is either side heaven or side hell. There is no neutrality between the two. And the same for any discipline, any activity on earth. If you think that you are neutral, you are the most sycophant to ever walk the face of the earth. And if you think that you are ethical, you are moral, no, you are the opposite. Fear is just what you put on and you believe it to be true. And so you wouldn't. Fear is facing up to fear itself. No neutral person in the world. God is not a neutral person. God is a sided God, meaning he takes side. If you think that you are neutral, you aren't, because every person who is a person created by God has preference, desire, interest. Even if you just went to activity that you weren't aware of, have no idea whatsoever, you just went in by accident, and watching the scene, your desire will move to somebody, and you will be hoping that that person you have taken on win. You never enter any place and that desire automatically doesn't come. It comes. There is not a single person on this earth who lives a day without taking a side, by choice, by preference, by desire, by interest. Wherever you find yourself, in your school, at your campus, be it polytechnic, university, college, you in the office, you at the football field, a football fan, just like you see me, a Barcelona fan, and Barcelona is playing today. besides the sports, in other events that we find ourselves, we have sided preference, interest, that this person or this one should happen favorably. I am saying this to tell you that given all these things that are happening in this country, whether you're Unity Party person, this cuts across. Unity Party, CDC, CMC, all. You just have to take side. You can sit. Don't live with that illusion that people had years ago. The politics, the dangerous thing that the people think. Politics is never dangerous. Politics is simply policy, issues, administration, and on and on. Politics everywhere. Aristotle wasn't wrong when he said it's everywhere. It's in your house, in your room, in your living room, at your office, in your community, your organization, in the car, on the bag, in the keke. It's everywhere. Where human exists, there is politics. But the understanding that people have, or the way the politicians were presented, had you fearing and believing that politics is a bad thing. It's only for the brave people. When you engage into it, you will be killed or you will die. Yet they themselves are in it and they are profiting from it by exposure. And you living with what they brainwash you into. But thank God Almighty, people are getting exposed. The lid is getting off their eyes, the wax coming off their ears, and they are now getting fully involved, fully engaged with politics. Do not allow yourself to be tossed to and fro, used and abused by the informed. Get involved. And when you are involved, take side. There's no neutrality in the house. Look at it. Look at it. Sometimes you just need to sit and create a scene in the house, especially in the evening when all of the occupants are in the house. Just create a scene amongst the children and act like you aren't paying attention. You'll see, as tabula rasa as they are, meaning the blank mind. The what tabula rasa is an Italian expression for blank mind, tabula rasa. You will still see them taking side. If you got 4 or 5 or 3 or 2 children in the house, just watch them indirectly. No 2 or 3 will be on the same side. Every one of them will show different preference. You will never see any sign of neutrality. None of them will show any sign of neutrality. Let's to talk about the developed mind, us. So if you think that it is necessary not to talk, not to say anything, yet you are being affected directly or indirectly, you are the most coward, a pathological coward, because you're complaining that it is not right to get involved. We should not talk. We should not say anything. Or you shouldn't talk. You shouldn't say anything. That's the people thing. But the decision they make affects you. And you feel the effect. You are groaning from within. Yet, you don't want to put it out. You choose to nurse the hurt against yourself. Yet, you make a loud sound to get other people appeasing you. Stand up, speak out, Ghana wants to move from 4 years to 5 years. Africa. The reason given by the Ghanaian government tells you how wasteful innovation or good leadership, futuristic leadership, lacking. The great United States has 4 years, and there are other countries too that have 4 years. Look at them, how they are fast progressing developmentally. Growth is the vision. It's not the time, it's the vision. Wanting to become or to take your country or your organization to another level. It's not the ample time that you will need. It's the vision, the understanding of the vision, experimenting that vision, convinced of the experimentation, and then in action. How African countries waste years show nothing. They want to move from 4 years to 5 years. Our country, we have 6 years. President George Weah wanted the duration or the time for the president 4 years. Because he felt, and I would think the way I saw it then and now, that given what he did within that time, technically, do you know that President Weah had 4 years? Not 4 years. Look at COVID-19 period. It's simple. Just look at the history. Technically, former President George Weah had 4 years. He had almost 2 years of COVID-19. No development going on, nothing whatsoever. All of the attention, time, energy, and resources was directed at bringing COVID-19 under control. So we can say that he operated well in 4 years. He had wanted the constitutional right that every president will have 4 years, and in 4 years, you will have done a lot more. Look at America, look at other countries. You can give an African government or African president 10 years, and you will still see nothing at development. You might see excuses here and there, why they have not done this, why they have not done that, why they want to do this, but they don't have time. Four years, more than sufficient. More than sufficient. Why you want to shift from 4 to 5? If you get 5, the next thing, you will alter the constitution to go to 6, just like Liberia. We'll go to 6. Anyway, that's Africa. That's Africa, but you don't need 6 years, 7 years, 10 years as president. You only need to deliver. That's all. You only need to deliver. One of the reasons our country is still an underdeveloped country, one of the poorest, if not the poorest, in the West African sub-region and Africa and the world, is because of the relaxedness that the country had always had, or presidents had always had. 6 years, 6 years. So at the close of the 6 years, nothing extra has happened. Then they go to the electorate with this rhetoric. We didn't do this because we didn't have much time. We have wanted to do this. We have the plan for this. We have the layout for this, but we didn't have the time. That's why we come to you asking you for a second term, begging. Look at Liberia, 179. Don't you think Liberia should have been on par with other countries that are moving developmentally? Look at us. 179, not small yet. So 179 put 6 years, 6 years, 6 years, 6 years. Factor all into that 179 and see how wasteful the country had been. It's been very wasteful. Today, at 179, the country got nothing to show. Nothing. The new things that you see around was not developed by past presidents before the coming in of President George Weah. Nothing. The new structures that you see that change the country's metaphysics, meaning the country's or the stated identity. George Weah. People who would condemn him, being around for rack of ages, clear for me, will not think. They had 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years. Couple of days ago, I passed, not by plane, but by the driver's plane, using the Boulevard route. And when we were getting closer, he appealed to his passengers to use the police academy side because the road that they usually use to get right behind LRA badly damaged. So we all agree. Passing through, looking on my right, I'm seeing blue buildings, but they are not block buildings. And you should help me if you think I'm wrong. Not block buildings, but plywood. And I asked because I do not travel around there often. I am a conservative carrier when it comes to traveling. So I'm asking the driver, and he's telling us that is the police barrack. And I openly said, but if that is the police barrack, so pitiful, so pathetic, if that is the police barrack, then what the politicians that been around for rack of ages, with all their education, with all their bragging and boasting, going to Harvard, Moore College, and on, why? That place does not represent a police barrack. That place in no way, by any standard of police barrack, falls short. Look at that place. And we're going through, looking at the place. I just thought about these guys. The Miata family class, because they've been around. She's concluding her 70s, going to her 80s. All those years, with 6 years, 6 years, 6 years, look at that place called Police Barrack. And sorry, please accept, but that's what I saw. The place is dirty. That place does not represent the police. You know what you mean when you say a police force? Get out of this country. See police barrack. See military barracks. That place that I saw, dirty, plywood structures. You call that police barrack. For rack of ages, all of the politicians that were around, they did nothing. But yet you have these Unity Party politicians who are suffering from serious dementia would say George Weah messed the country up. As if George Weah was the first president of Liberia. Those countries that we are proud to go to, we feel comfortable living in those places because every president that took the presidency was concentrated on development. And when he leaves, the next person follow that path. That's why all those countries are developed. The politicians in the past weren't concerned about anything development. For 100 years plus, this country never experienced development. Who gave the country a taste of real development that today that exposure is there? George Weah. Look at the structure, look at the styles. Most of the people who are building now, just observe the style, the structure, how they are building their houses, and look at those houses 50, 75, 80 years back. They live here as politicians with all of the education. They will build a house and build defecation center outside, or we say toilet house. They'll build it outside. Do you know that the people were not building bathroom? They were not adding bathroom within. The bathrooms were outside. Somebody said they did that so that they will catch people, because at that time it was society. So you came out to take bath, and then that was your end. But why that exists, I wouldn't agree 100%, because they had they had the finance, they had the time, they had the education, they had the exposure to develop this country, but they did not. Recently, the country started experiencing real development. Not even on Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. But George Weah, look at it. Look at this, the exposure he gained and brought to Liberia. That today, look at the buildings all around. See? And do you know that had he just given another turning, which will also happen, you're going to see something massive. A president who will damage or want to damage a country will be opting for 4 years, the presidency. 4 years means you are under pressure to do real good, just as the philosophical maxim goes: get in, get it done right, and get out. Simple. 4 years, it pushes you to fulfill. It puts you under pressure. When you have ample time, you relax. Nothing much. So when the first term is coming close now, then you say, oh, we wanted to do this, we're doing that, we have this plan, but that's why we come to you to give us a second term. African governments. All right. All right. Let's have this break, please. Let's have this break. When we come back, then we get into what we've got for today. Please, I want you to listen to something. By the time we get back, then we get ready to go into it, which you already know. Even Satan can receive praise. So praise, anything you get in praise. No, it's the honesty, how you are honest, how you treat people. Even Satan is praised. Don't people praise Satan? People praise Satan. Yeah, Satan getting praises all over the place. So what extra if you getting praise, the praise in you, and there. You got to know what kind of praise is it, what necessitated the praise. All right. Please, let's have a listen, this break. Then when we come back, we get into what we've got on our plate for today. Let's have this break. It's a simple one, a good message. Let's use this as our break. Let me make an adjustment. This one is how to become a great leader. How to become a great leader. Let's have this break. By the time we are back, then we move on to our issue that we've got to deal with this afternoon. Just one issue. That's all. Once we've got that, then we move on. No, one issue. So let's have this break.
There's one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. That simple phrase. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. That simple phrase carries a world of meaning. Because leadership, true leadership, isn't about control, titles, or applause. It's about responsibility. It's about rising first, staying late, and carrying the weight that others avoid. It's about becoming the kind of person others want to follow, not because they have to, but because they're inspired to. In a world full of noise, distraction, and uncertainty, we don't need more people shouting commands. We need more people who lead with clarity, conviction, and character. And here's the truth. Leadership is not a gift reserved for the few. It's a skill, a mindset, and a decision. A decision you can make today. Whether you're leading a team, a business, a classroom, a family, or simply leading yourself, this message is for you. Because before you can ever lead others effectively, you must first learn how to lead your own life with purpose, courage, and discipline. The great leaders we admire didn't wait for the perfect moment. They stepped forward, even when they didn't feel ready. They made choices that shaped their character. They took risks, they failed, they learned, and they grew stronger with each step. Leadership is earned, not given, and it begins within. Today, I'm going to walk you through the powerful principles that can help you become a truly great leader. Wherever you are in life, stay with me for the next few minutes as I share the tools, the mindset, and the examples that can transform the way you lead. Let's dive in. Number one, leadership begins with leading yourself. Before you can ever lead a team, a company, a community, or even a family, you must first learn to lead yourself. That's where leadership really begins. Because if you can't manage your own time, your own habits, your own attitude, how can you expect to guide someone else? Great leadership doesn't start with shouting orders. It starts with quiet discipline. It's waking up when the alarm rings, not when you feel like it. It's showing up with consistency, doing the work, even on the days when no one's watching. Leadership is about keeping promises, especially the ones you make to yourself. If you tell yourself you'll write every day, read every week, improve every month, you better follow through. Why? Because if you don't respect your own word, why would anyone else? Take Denzel Washington, for example. Known for his professionalism and grounded nature, he's not just a world-class actor. He's a man of discipline. Behind the scenes, he lives by routine. He keeps his circle tight, his principles clear, and his standards high. That's self-leadership.
Thank you for the understanding. So let's get to what we've got on our plate for today, with the time at 4 o'clock. Just one issue we've got. You heard it, you discuss it, and you receive it, that Mr. President came out with what his supporters are praising him for, that the previous government didn't do, that he is a man of his word. They are praising him here and there because he took action. That the guys who, as they presented, those are the people who did XYZ with the drug issue. So it said, it came out late last night. President Joseph Yama Boakat Sr. has ordered the immediate dismissal, suspension, and investigation of several officials of government and law enforcement personnel following his review of the latest status report on ongoing investigations into major narcotics trafficking cases. The action forms part of the government's continued efforts to uphold accountability, strengthen the rule of law, and ensure that public officials entrusted with serving the Liberian people conduct themselves with integrity and in full compliance with the law. And then the individuals say, with immediate effect, dismissed Mark Egon Kuya, Deputy Director for Operations at the Rabas International Airport. 1. 2. Antonin Dane, Commissioner of Police for Criminal Investigation, Intelligence, and Interpol. 3. Patrick Doe, Deputy Director for Administration, National Security Agency. And then, where are the others? Say, President order immediate dismissal. 1. Mohammed O. Gora, Director of Security, Rabas International Airport. Moses Jala, Deputy Commander, Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, Rabas International Airport. The president has ordered the dismissal of 2 officers of the Liberia National Police who are said to have official government vehicles to facilitate the transportation of a narcotic consignment from Vincent Town along the Bomi Highway to the vicinity of Migamat in Tinkoff Village, that around your Pinsville. The 2 individuals are Antonin T. Bly, Waddell Dario Kwabo. Then they say the president directed the immediate dismissal of the following individuals in order that they be forwarded to the Ministry of Justice for prosecution. Please listen that the president's office has said the president has also directed the dismissal. Directing dismissal or dismissing. Which one? Giving that directive to who? The president has also directed the immediate dismissal. No, the president dismissed. So it should have been the president also dismissed the following individuals in order that they be forwarded to the Ministry of Justice for prosecution in accordance with the law. Jamal V. Jala, Agent National Security Agency. Christian Yanti, Agent National Security Agency. K.C. Nelson, Procurement Director, Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection. Abeningo Janior, Janior, Janior Agent, National Security Agency, and on and on. So, people are excited. His officials, supporters are excited. There's nothing to be excited about. There is nothing to be excited about. And no praise should go to Mr. President. all of the people who are praising Mr. President are just sentimental. No praise should go to Mr. President. How people in their rational selves will stoop so low? What dare to praise Mr. President? What are they praising Mr. President for? Mr. President ought not to be praised. Everybody who is in that shenanigan has to drop it. Nobody should praise Mr. President. You don't praise people for their responsibility. You acknowledge the person's responsibility to do the needful. And that is what, from day one, the country have been calling for. To give the people, to pacify the people's curiosity and anger from day one, what did his officials do? They told Mr. President to make a statement. That statement was purely psychological. It was not directing in-depth investigation to pacify the atmosphere, because anger, the people's anger was raging. And they felt psychologically, if the president came out to say something, the people anger will come down a little, which is normal. Beyond that, Mr. President will do nothing. And people will be complaining, calling on. How many have not raised serious concern? And even going to the extent of saying that Mr. President is aware of what is unfolding and he's covering up. People say that all over the place. We heard that. It's because they weren't seeing that proactive move of the president. Fast forward, Mr. President comes out to dismiss and suspend, and people are praising Mr. President. What kind of country is this? Too petty. Praising president for what? That is an obligation, a responsibility that he needed to own up to. He is the president who the country expects to move into this cocaine thing with leadership, bold leadership. Mr. President, if Mr. President came out and dismissed people, what they're to praise him all over the place? Like he has put food on your table. He has put money in your pocket. Like he has brought you out of poverty. People have to stop being mentally mechanical. There's absolutely nothing there to praise Mr. President. The politicians who are doing it, they themselves don't know why they are doing it. Praising Mr. President for what? Mr. President don't deserve praise from this. It is an obligation, a responsibility. You don't praise a person for what he signs or he or she signs up to do. Is a responsibility, it's an obligation. To do that, to praise the person, is to say the person is rendering you favor. President Joseph Boakai isn't rendering the country favor. In this drug thing, he's not rendering the country favor. So that there's no need to praise him. The investigation is cumbersome, it's difficult. All kinds of cover-up happen. People question the credibility of it. We heard reports of bribery. We heard all manner of stuff. We saw the drama with the legislature, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. We saw that drama. We saw prior to that event, we saw how the DEA would come out. We saw all of those things. And people in the country was nearly giving up on this whole thing. If Mr. President came midnight and issue a dismissal, and people are all over the place praising him as if he had rendered favor to the country or render you favor, there's no favor that you don't praise a person for such. That praise is misplaced. You don't praise a person who is obligated to do. When the person has done, you acknowledge that the person has done by his obligation, his responsibility. What they're to praise Mr. President for? He didn't render favor. That is a loose praise, misplaced praise. You stop praising Mr. President. This patronage politics we have has always kept our system in a way that it always looked childish and irresponsible in the midst of it all. Everything praise of a president, praise on the president, praise on the president, praise. Even Nebuchadnezzar people didn't praise him much as the people praise presidents today. Then the second thing to that, Mr. President dismissed. But before that, I said there wasn't anything to praise and there isn't anything to praise Mr. President for. Nobody should praise Mr. President. Mr. President, the entire drug atmosphere, specifically cocaine, the entire governance of the country under the Unity Party government can be characterized or summarized in these few words by my grammarian. Have a listen.
This is erotic, vivacious. This is voluptuous. Who is this? It's in a political hogomondogos way. Yes, the Muay Thai. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political muahaha. Political yo. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political muahaha. Political yo. Political holy poly. Tell Mr. President, we are tired of the mendacilloquence. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political muahaha. Political yo. Political holy poly. Tell Mr. President, we are tired of the mendacilloquence, prostitute, and sabanism. Muay Thai. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political muahaha. Political yo. Political holy poly. Tell Mr. President, we are tired of the mendacilloquence. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political muahaha. Political yo. Political holy poly. Tell Mr. President, we are tired of the mendacilloquence, prostitute, and sabanism. Yes, mendacilloquence. Telling lies in an awful way, prostitute, telling lies in an awful way, mendacilloquence. Telling lies in an awful way. Yes, 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 mendacilloquence. Telling lies in an awful way. Prostitute, propaganda.
That's the atmosphere of this cocaine. Lies, rather. Lies all over the place. Lies characterize the entire investigation. Complete disorganization that resulted to blame shifting. And then you coming up praising Mr. President. What they're to praise? Listen to my guide again, man.
It's in a political hogomondogos way.
Right. That's what we are. That's the kind of atmosphere we're in right now with this whole misgovernance, misrule. On top of it, cocaine has overwhelmed the government, overwhelmed the country. Complete. That's it. That's the atmosphere. He couldn't describe Liberia culture any better than this.
It's in a political hogomondogos way. It's in a political hogomondogos way.
Yeah.
It's in a political hogomondogos way. 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 Yes, the Muay Thai. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political muahaha. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political muahaha. Political yo. Political holy poly. They are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political muahaha. Political yo. Political holy poly.
That's what we're in, and that's the atmosphere we're in under the United Party government vis-a-vis the cocaine. So don't praise Mr. President. Don't waste your breath. Don't attempt to use that to get recognition of some of you, as we have seen on social media, listening to some radio stations, following online platforms, some online platforms, and listening to other people, other places giving their commentary. I thought the rational minds will say, Mr. President, you have taken the first action that you should have taken from the onset. We hold on to this. We have no doubt, but you will have to go beyond. And this is why, Mr. President, you must go beyond, because your police director said the entire drug syndicate, or the processing, the manufacturing, the exportation, importation was sanctioned by senior officials of your government. Nobody should praise President Boakai. If you ever did that, it would be a sycophancy, it would be hypocrisy. President Boakai has not done anything extra. May I say this to you? Mr. Boakai, Mr. President, has complicated the situation. Whoever may have advised him to take the action he took, they misled him. So here is that picture, the future I should paint to you. Listen carefully. The guy, the police guy in Wadel Devio Kwabo said that he received a call. Kwabo is above 18. Under the Constitution of Liberia, 18 years is a full grown. Kwabo is mentally stable. He knows the call that came in with all of the information. Just dismissing Kwabo and his colleague Anthony Blay or Blay doesn't say that is the end, or it was by accident. The investigation, or they should have told Mr. President, or Mr. President should have indicated in his press statement or the statement coming from his office announcing dismissal that this official is dismissed because the investigation revealed, having spoken or what was presented by Kwabo, called and facilitated the exportation or the transfer of the drugs, the cocaine. When were you dismissed, Mr. Kwabo or Officer Kwabo, without stating the findings of his testimony, because he spoke to the investigators? It being in the public for ever so long that he received a call. We are in the age of technology. So let's assume that the name did not appear on the screen, but the number is there. They've been tracing numbers here using Cellcom, Lone Star to trace, which is very easy to do. Did the investigation trace that number? If the investigation by technology traced that number and knows the person who did the call, or the name appear on the screen, then it means Kwabo had been having that name in the phone, and he and that person had been doing business. So given the country's seriousness or the government's seriousness to rid the country of drugs and serve as a deterrent or put in deterrent measures, you don't want to just announce dismissal. You want to state within Kwabo and Blai area, the person that gave the call, and Kwabo was under instruction to act. Did the investigation not capture that? And just releasing statement, you think that it's going to go down with everybody? Dismissal is not the ultimate solution to discouraging cocaine into the country and other drugs. You can say you're fighting cartel. You can say you're climbing down. You can use all of those jargons. But how empty and unserious it is when you are still covering up the most dangerous thing is to keep the drug issue alive. And the government is keeping it alive by withholding certain vital information that should serve as a deterrent. One of them is this Kwabo stuff. Kwabo said he received a call. So you're not interested in a call that he received? You're not interested in who made the call to him? You're only interested in dismissing him? Did the report, the police director said that senior officials of the government, the Unity Party government, sanctioned, meaning approve everything, the manufacturing, processing, and all of those things associated with the cocaine getting out of Liberia. You don't want to call the police director and say, I need those names? You see how people, how the politicians will think that you're stupid? And sometimes you present yourselves as stupid people. Sorry if I say that. Because instead of asking the hard questions, people are excited. And I'm referring to those who think that, oh, it is okay. Yeah, the president has taken bold steps. Those are the ones that are referring to. This is an empty statement released by Mr. President. Is it the first time Mr. President released statement? Announcing dismissal and suspension. So what? Does it say the investigation has gone to the bottom? It is still leaving out several hints of refusal to go to the bottom of it. You dismiss Johnny Dean. If a person receives a bribe in such a serious narcotic investigation, does that constitute only dismissal? You telling the person, go. You did this, go. You're not in the force again. Once you are not in the force, it will hurt you. You got no job. Nobody going to let you into their organization. What is that? So here is the other side of this. If you think as supporters of Unity Party, and this is not party thing, this is national emergency we're talking about here, as President Boakai termed it as, not term, but declare it national emergency, this drug thing. Listen, you're going to hear, except those guys choose to live with their damaged conscience. They choose to be used as sacrificial lambs. That they would trade their character, their reputation, their future to hide the real culprits, then no problem. And for the rest of their lives, it's done. Kwabo will not travel out of this country because he was dismissed for drug, cocaine, not just drug, but cocaine. Johnny Dean will not travel out of this country. And even if they attempted traveling out of this country, they can use a false name. So the only thing is they are under obligation to restore their image, and that is by giving the public a fair understanding. Kwabo will have to tell who called him, because Kwabo is done. You know what it means, police officer? Senior police officer, you are dismissed for cocaine. So they will have to free themselves up. They will have to get their character moving because their character is damaged now. They will have to restore their character, their reputation, their image by telling. If it was any official who called, if I were Kwabo, I will call. I will call the name. You want to go down alone when you did not initiate it? You were following orders? You want to go down the road alone, guys? This thing, you guys have to be men enough. They can do nothing to you people. You people are the ones who have their fate in your hand. The act of dismissing is to say, go sit down. Don't talk anything about it. With time, it will die. But your reputation is done. You're finished. If you step out of this country, anywhere you go, Interpol will pick you up, as we have seen with other people. So the best thing, the most rational thing to do is to state exactly what happened that brought your involvement into it. By explaining everything, the president said there will be no secret call. You will not protect anybody. So you want to explain what happened. I don't think dismissal settles the probe. No. Just dismissing, it's just an entertainment. It's just a news for people to mesmerize. The names that are out, Some will argue they are lower names. They are not big names. But no one knows big names. The investigation brought names out. So I don't go with that argument that big names. The investigation brought names out, and we hold that. We believe what the investigation brought out, the names, except those who are dismissed, their reputation is damaged, their future is done, will come out and tell the world that I was involved in a thing because of XYZ. This is the man who instructed me to kill. Then, if that is a big name now, that's when we get to know the big name or names. But for now, I can't doubt the investigation, those names they put out. Those names, if they are not the ones who initiated the drug thing, or they had not been so deep into it, but they have information how the syndicate work and still working, then they will have to come out and bring out those names. Then, if they name big names, they announce big names, then that one will be talking big names. But for now, the names that they put out, we accept those names. We accept those names. They are on an obligation now to say whether big names instructed them or not. Because action has been taken against them, and the public knows that they are the ones who are the drug dealers, who are the cocaine exporters and importers. And if they are not, then they have to state their side. Even if the investigation or the investigators convince them not to talk and say you guys are dismissed, you're just accept it, that's where you'll be around, we'll be giving you Sunday, you have to look at it from the other side. We've seen it in this country. People were dismissed, they were allowed to go. They enter in a given place, they arrested them and say you are this person, you are that person. Your country investigated you for this and they dismiss you, and you are this, you are a threat. We've seen it before. We've seen it. That is why when people are involved in such, allegedly, and they come out of it through a court process, they will ask for police clearance, court clearance, so that when they get out, they will not be embarrassed or they will not be picked up and treated as such again. So, Mr. President, decision to dismiss was just another entertainment that the people can jump into, as they have jumped into. Yeah, the president dismissed. The president has taken a bold step. That's what we've been waiting for. You call this thing a serious thing? Look at the people. So you were calling on the president to take action, so you will praise, but you are not really concerned going to the depth of this thing. So because the president has taken action now, you are excited. Just like the legislature, they say we want arrest. We have not heard, we have not seen arrest. So the police director say, and you want arrest? Okay, this weekend we arrest somebody. Made fun of them. That's how they brought first king, called Paul King. So the president said, and you want me to take action? And you want to hear something? Okay, I'm dismissing these people. But there is still another wider side to this thing. What we have before us is just the surface. Dismissing those people means you have to prosecute them.
You have to prosecute. And Mr. President cannot move in with partial persecution, instructing other people to go through the Ministry of Justice, or the Ministry of Justice should prosecute XYZ. No, everybody who is involved should be prosecuted. Everyone that you dismiss, Mr. President, has to be prosecuted. That is what is referred to as legal deterrent. How will you let certain people go? They are connected to the same crime. You suspend certain people because they are in 3 categories. 1, go to the Justice Ministry. 2, for prosecution. 2, you are suspension. And 3, dismissal. 3 categories: suspension, instruction for Justice Ministry to run through everything, and dismissal. So there is prosecution, there's suspension, and dismissal. Dismissal means go and sit down. You have to prosecute everybody. That's what deterrent is. Prosecute all of those people that you name in your statement, Mr. President. That's what we're saying. Prosecute them. Prosecute them. They should not just go and sit down. You know what you have done with them? Their reputation is injured. They were alleged to be involved in this. That in itself is character damage. Then you dismiss them. So what you need to do beyond that now, so that they will clear their names? You want to prosecute everybody. Everybody, prosecute everybody. Everyone named. Send them for prosecution. That is what is referred to as legal deterrent. You say you're breaking the drug cartel. You're dismantling it. That is one of the ways you dismantle the cartel, by legal deterrence. You've done the political aspect. Move to the next stage. Prosecute all of these people that you name in your statement, Mr. President. Mark Egon Kua, Deputy Director. Okay, Mark Egon Kua, Johnny Dane, Patrick Doe, Anthony Bly, Wadel Kwabo, all those people, Moses Jala, Mohammed Barra. You want to prosecute all of these people. Their charges or their crimes allegedly are not separate. That's one thing, the cocaine. You got 2 in 1. The 19.2 million and the 300, over 300 or 400 million. And you're telling one group, you are dismissed, go sit down. The other group, you are suspended. When you finish resting, you come out of job. The third group, go through the Ministry of Justice for prosecution. And you called it serious thing. And those people, certain people, particularly supporters of the president, unity party, the government, and other people praising Mr. President as if he has rendered favor to the country. He hasn't. Moreover, the entire security sector of Liberia needs overhauling. It's by compulsion. That's what has come out. Look at all the areas. DEA, LNP, National Security Agency. The people who should be climbing down on all of these things National Security Agency involved in cocaine wahala. The police, DEA. It presents an awful picture, lack of confidence in the security sector under President Joseph Yuma Boakai. And they are happy to announce with a huge budget, lose money going to the NSA, they stay not satisfied. They got involved in drug trafficking, drug trading, drug exportation. That's what the president's action presents. That's the other side of it. Persecuted people serve as deterrent. 2, the entire security sector is characterized by corruption, drug trafficking, and just everything. That Mr. President document said it from his action. So the entire security sector needs to be overhauled. There's nobody trusted. If the entire security sector can be overwhelmed with drug trafficking, drug exportation, drug importation, and on, imagine how those bad people on the other side can penetrate this country and do anything at any time. We are protected by God. When we are talking and saying this, people say, oh, you're this, you're that. People, all of us are Liberians. All of us. We've seen some things in this country. I will tell you freely, God did not allow me to leave this country throughout the world. I saw things. I saw how things went. I saw how people were gone down in my presence. We walked into dead bodies. All kinds of things we saw. That is why we can never have war in this country again. But it doesn't say we shouldn't be cautious enough. If our security sector is compromised, it means anybody from outside can penetrate and cause havoc in this country because the country is vulnerable. That's what it means. That's what it presents. The country is vulnerable. You got those ones, they're putting checkpoint all around in the city. Every intersection they have checkpoint. Yet the drugs are passing through. If I were Mr. President, I will instruct the police director immediately to remove all of those because the checkpoints are not helping. They're not detecting anything. They don't have any instrument to detect a drug, nothing whatsoever. They aren't sensitive to anything. They are just there to receive money. Everywhere you pass, you have checkpoint. Just put $100 or $150 or $75 in your hand. When you reach the checkpoint, you just gone. Most of the things that come into the country, they pass through these checkpoints, these so-called checkpoints. You bring an arm into the country, you'll pass. You bring in drug in the country, you will pass. Anything you will pass. Because the essence, one of the reasons for having checkpoints within the city center, you are rigid, you are informed of what is happening, or you are aware of something, or you're just there to avert a potential threat or infiltration. But the guys are just there collecting money. We know that for a fact because we pass around, we see it. So how people will not come into the country with all of these cocaine? The entire sector, the security sector needs overhauling. It's at risk. Liberia is at risk. Nobody should think that we are 100% safe. If the security sector can be bullied, then you think the country is safe? If people can pass through, they come into the country with ease, with cocaine. How they brought the cocaine in, what medium they use, but the cocaine in the country. It tells you the vulnerability of the security sector, of the surveillance sector. And you think that we are safe? You think this country is safe? It means that anybody, listen to the list. Listen. Then we get to the line. Please listen. Listen to Mr. President's list. Listen to Mr. President's list of people. It said, following a review of the findings submitted by the relevant authorities, President Bouaka has, with immediate effect, please listen, dismissed Mr. Mark Egon Kuya, Deputy Director for Operations at the Rabos International Airport, the airport, one of the gateways to Liberia's economy, the Rabos International Airport. Mr. Johnny Dane, Commissioner of Police for Criminal Investigation, Intelligence, and Interpol, the Liberia National Police, the airport, RIA, the police. Mr. Patrick Doe, Deputy Director for Administration, National Security Agency, the people who should be intercepting. That's why they are secret service. They don't wear uniform. Their identity is unknown. They can track anybody, anything. They can suspect. They can move. They are just sophisticated in just everything. That's why their budget is on. They have sufficient financial support. NSA. Deputy Director for Mr. Patrick Doe, Deputy Director for Administration at the National Security Agency. What are the other ones? The president has further, okay, the one that recall. The recall. What the other guy? What the other people? Additionally, President Bouaka has ordered the immediate dismissal of all government employees and law enforcement officers indicted in connection with the seizure. All government employees indicted, all government employees and law enforcement officers indicted in the executive too. You see that? You see the vulnerability I'm talking about? All employees, people who they in ministries and agencies, they in different areas. Some of them, they are civil servants, and we'll get to the civil service agency position. And law enforcement officers that is seen in police or DO, or everybody who is responsible to enforce the law. Indicted in connection with the seizure of the 198 plates of processed cocaine at the Rabos International Airport. Say, Mohammed Bora, Director of Security, Rabos International Airport. Moses Jala, Deputy Commander, Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. Moses Jala, Deputy Commander, Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, Rabos International Airport, DEA. The president has also ordered the dismissal of 2 officers of the Liberia National Police, who are said to have used official vehicles to facilitate the transportation of narcotics consignment. Who are they? Anthony T. Bly. Where I got that? I got that. The people name your area in this place here. The president name your area, Tinkers Village. I got that, Glasgow. The president named your area. He said, a narcotics consignment from Vincent Town along the Bombing Highway to the vicinity of Mega Mart in Tinkers Village, Pinsville. Where they get a Mega Mart? I got that. Where they get a Mega Mart in Tinkers Village? He said that where they carry the drug. What the other people? They say the president also directed the immediate dismissal of the following individuals in order that they be forwarded to the Ministry of Justice for prosecution in accordance with the law. Jamel V. Jala, agent, National Security Agency. Christian Yanti, agent, National Security Agency. KC Nelson, procurement director, Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Ministry of Gender. Imagine. Abeningo Janio, agent, National Security Agency. So all of the sectors, all of the security sectors, vulnerable. Then you think that ordinary, that serious trouble in under the Unity Party government, serious trouble. You people have to keep your safety concern or raise your safety concern. When the entire security sector, DEA, police, NSA, all of them vulnerable, then anybody can infiltrate this country. Anybody. That God protecting this country, there aren't the security people. There aren't these people. Look at the checkpoints. Go around. Just move around. Between 8:30 and 9. Checkpoints all over. Why are they checking for? Nothing but receiving money. Somebody come with something in their car, under the car seat, or in the car, the hood. They'll pass. Because as soon as the police, DEA, they see money, they trembling at the various checkpoints, and people just pass. The country is vulnerable. That God protecting this country, that God, the things that are happening, if God just turn it back, the country is serious thing, very serious. God helping this country, God protecting this country security-wise, God protecting this country flood-wise, God protecting this country, everything. That God. I can see why he said, do not place your trust in man, because man is limited. That God carrying the country, that God manning the country, that ain't security people. The security people are depending on, and you see it? Police, compromise, vulnerable. DEA, compromise, vulnerable. NSA, compromise, vulnerable. So who you rely on now? Who you rely on? Who you depend on? That God carrying this country, that God, the security, God, the DEA, God, the LMP, God, the NSA, God, everything. That is why you thank God in your respective areas. Tell God, thank you. Just in your quietude, if that is only prayer you pray, God in heaven will bless you, will protect you, do everything. Just say, God, thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for your protection upon this country, Liberia. God will bless you for Liberia. Just those few words, 2-3 words, that all going on plenty of words. Because if they leave with the people there, wow. God protecting this country from Boko Haram, God protecting this country from how they call those people, terrorists, God protecting this country, everything that God keeping watch day and night over this country. Yeah, you see the country just moving. That why God allowed war. That war that came, God was involved in it. Because the reason God can do it, then he can stand now in his almightiness over that country. We've seen it in the Bible. He allowed you to go through certain times, certain difficult times, so that when he takes over that country, forever is safe. Since we left that war, and you see Liberia, and you see Liberia, you see how the foreigners and be so happy coming to this place. God hand over this country, God presence, God over it. But the people there, wow, yeah, big here, yeah. That God man in this country, that God, yeah, every day before you go to bed, just say, God, thank you for Liberia. When you wake up, midnight, you go in the bathroom, say, God, yeah, our country, yeah, we thank you for hovering it or for being with it. You wake up in the morning, say, God, thank you. That all. You're not saying it for the government. You're saying it because God doing it. You aren't saying it to please anybody, because prayer is not about pleasing a politician or a business person or a journalist or a marketer. Prayer is about telling God what you have in and what you have acknowledged of him and what you want him to do, what he has done. That God carrying a country, imagine what? The entire security sector, vulnerable, compromised. So let me just drop the one and then we'll go to the land. CSA, yeah, what CSA said. CSA told the action tool. The entire government is shamed. They embarrassed. They overwhelmed. They don't know what to do. Let's see, CSA took the action. What did they say? Okay, let me bring in what how they call him? Senator Chie. Senator Chie was right, his position. So the guys, how they call them, CSA, Civil Service Agency, they said that they have directed all government ministries, the CSA, they have directed all government ministries, agencies, commissions, and other public institutions to immediately process the dismissal of civil servants named in President Joseph Yema Boakai Sr.'s recent directive linked to ongoing narcotics investigation. Say they must start processing the dismissal. Plenty of things coming happen, oh. Plenty of things coming happen in this Republic of Liberia. Even though people calling it Mexico, they entitled to their opinion, but this is not Mexico. This is Liberia. It's not Mexico. They're going to dismiss them. Plenty of things will happen. Well, yes, on teenagers, you just hold on. So, yeah, what happened now? Less than no time, they've moved to take action. They say this one, the Justice Ministry, not the Justice, but Gender. They say the Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection has dismissed its procurement director, K.C. Nelson. He's mentioned in the president's statement. He was the procurement director. Lucrative position. The procurement director, you never broke. Yeah, good money. Good money. You buying all the things and making a voucher. And small procurement person and a small person. Procurement director, Mr. K.C. Nelson, with immediate effect after his indictment in connection with the alleged US $317 million drug trafficking case. They dismissed the man. All right. So that there. That yeah, please share the show. Yeah, you share the show. You share the show, please. So let's go to the line, but first let's read the comments. I've always gone to the line first. Let's read a few of the comments, then we can move on to your court. Rita had said those guys would not be happy, so they would start spilling the beans by calling the names to people to get to those names out in the public. That's true. They will speak out. Eva Rita about is it Rita? Don't bring Balo or my country Argentina. Rita say, but Sam, you gotta put Argentina name inside Joseph Boaga. No, you don't have a job in Argentina. Say I got that you for that inside. No, Argentina not there. Tobasi said law enforcement officers do face prosecution for participating in drug trafficking. When police officers or sheriffs break drug laws, federal and state agencies such as the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Drug Enforcement Administration regularly investigate arrests and prosecute them just like any other criminal. Philip Tukba, Gregory Coleman is a serious drug trafficker. You can see the cocaine in his face just by looking at his person now. Amos J. Vincent said, where are the names of those that are dismissed? And we'll call the names. We'll call the names. Yeah. Alex Kolu said, Joe Walker and his guys left 419 people. Makube, he's a Johnny guy. A real political yubo. It's a political rococo. Makube is the guy. He coming back before we go. Moses Kiat said this government is fake and a big 419. Emmanuel Bro, quite obviously, Liberia is a kind of foreign country, most especially under this JNB and Unity Party-led regime. All right. So let's go now. Let's go to the line. Oh, okay, Emmanuel Brossi. I'm always happy to see you in your FCB outfit. Yeah, we're playing today, 6:45, St. James's Park, Birmingham City. Yeah, we are going back to our normal life of football. Though we had the World Cup, but the World Cup was not really entertaining. It was not attractive. It was not in terms. What's the reason for that? I think the time. Yeah. Unlike the other World Cups that 6:45, 7, we're watching evening games here, but the other World Cup hosted by the three countries, when you wake up in the morning again, you won't watch, say no, it finished. The game finished, or they won 2-3 or 3-2, they were on penalty or extra time. So we're not. Personally, I didn't enjoy this World Cup as previous. No. I didn't enjoy it at all. Other World Cups were attracted to other games besides our team, besides Spain, Argentina. But this one, no, I didn't enjoy it at all. So we're so excited. We're even hoping and praying that the time will come quick so they will play the final and then let it be finished and it's good to play the final. So we're getting back to our normal life now. 6:45, 7 p.m., 11 a.m., 10 a.m., our domestic league. We've got 16. Today is the 31st. So we've got 16 days from now. 16 days from now, domestic football returns. Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A, Premier League, 16 days from now. So between the 16th and 17th of August, the league starts. But today is a friendly game, and we have to watch our team. Even Barcelona playing children in the yard. I'm wearing my outfit to go watch FCB all the way. And if you have no football team, come to Barcelona. Don't go to Real Madrid. No, you go to Real Madrid, you will regret it. Come to FC Barcelona. So let's go now. Let's take your calls. Then we'll go on 0772 2399 33 0886 67 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 9803 75. Let's go. Let's start with the women. Then we move on to the men. Hi, madam.
Hello,
Yeah,
Mr. Andrew.
yeah.
Those drugs they say that we're talking about, Mr. Andrew, they got big shares in it. What are going to the 30 people for calling their putting them, or they meet people in the drugs business? Why they can't call their names? We're hearing about the police director and other people, even Joseph Bakasson. Why they can't call their names also? You know they don't even know about it drugs. Even they know there were people that sent them. They were people that sent. Let they call the phone. Let they press on them. Let they call the phone. Thank you.
All right, madam. Have a nice day. Men's line. Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andrews. Mr. Mohammed, and I call from town Coast Spoon Hill. Remember, for staying Liberia for justice. Mr. Andrew, thank you very much.
Spencer, hold on, Spencer, hold on. Spencer, wait, my man, wait. Hey, wait, Spencer, wait, my man. I want to ask you a simple question. Why is that place called Coast Spoon Hill?
Yeah, the place is called Coast Spoon Hill because instead of there, one of these former fighters, he was living around there, and the hill there used to be a rocky hill. So he used to go, after the war in there, he used to go and bust the rocks and set it. So because he constant busting of the rocks, they want to create road that car was using to go down the hill. That's why the community decided to name the hill after it because of a constant in busting the rocks to open road for car road. That's why they named the road after a Coast Spoon Hill.
His name was Coke Spoon.
Yeah, that was the name you were using during the war time. Coast Spoon, like the name you were using.
All right, let's hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so the issue, what are we say arguing, or what is Unity Party say arguing for? The whole has been Thomas McGregor Comer. Comer says senior government official sanction the drugs coming to store. In the local balance, they mean the entire government agreed for the drugs to come to Liberia. So what are we saying here? When the President Braga is just firing low export area over the canopy of President Braga, but now he's supposed to resign. Because the whole thing that the entire government was indicted. They may say the entire government bring drugs to Liberia. So President Braga down, and you people bringing the drugs. So you're us. The people is studying, they are not the one that bringing drugs. The people are the ones that are used to export the drugs for way Rasdale all the way to realize that the people you're sacking President Braga, you're doing to us. You promised us to create jobs. Now you're taking the country into drugs corridor. It's very unfortunate. If this had been a similar state, but now President Braga will have stayed in your resignation. Thank you very much for always giving us the opportunity to contribute to national development. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Have a nice day. Hello, women's line. I'm doing fine.
I'm taking great money from school. The money for saying for Mr. Andrew, I appeal to the Archbishop Comer. They do the NIFO by calling the top position. We don't want to get it. We don't want to take. They do the NIFO by calling the people and calling the media that important to the thing that taking money for the capital. We don't want no promotion here. I don't want to do the NIFO. If you know the media ain't for it, if you know the top official ain't for it, because we don't want to just tell you all that people are going to keep them very. Yeah, Papa, I got to get it. Pass the what for this. They do the NIFO by calling the people. Get security, get low risk for side, get short risk for side. I mean, they do the NIFO by calling money. The one who been saying that thing, they've been asking all for evidence. They produce a woman evidence that the leader is for. They say, oh, it's the press. There's an Andrew. It's to the main head before the radio station now. But what's happening? The radio station is what I want to follow up with the again. Why not? We now want to in our country. The boy confused, the big confusing, but they come on to the NIFO. Don't be afraid. You ask about how me. They're all the security that you did, everything there about your test for that. Don't do the NIFO. You don't do the NIFO. What's happening in our party again? Don't do the NIFO. Don't be afraid. Get low with AK short with you. Don't do the NIFO. Thank you, Mr. Andrew.
Thank you too. Have a nice weekend. Men's line.
Yes. To you, Sam. And let me say good afternoon to those who follow me in the show. Then I guess it's been a while since the independence. So let me say happy belated. So this Hussein Sam, Hussein Keo. I call from the back of the National Transit Authority. I'm doing the show religiously. But firstly, I want to begin by appreciating President Bouaka. And you know, it is only a good thing in a God-fearing person to acknowledge goodness in your life or for your country. And we were the same people criticizing our friends. My brother Tony said we need to investigate those who are involved with the George issues. President Bouaka said, regardless of your political line or affiliation, you will be brought to book in space services. Those are hierarchies of the security sector and both the private sector that have been suspended and dismissed by the president. For God in heaven's sake, no Liberians on two will call in the knowledge that I should be the lone person to say thanks to President Bouaka. No, they should go far beyond. This is the beginning of this investigation. But one thing I know and notice that people just sitting in Akono, like some of those boys who called on the show, would believe that as long President Bouaka's family and the second family names are not mentioned, nobody needs to be mentioned. I believe that is the perception of God. So even though those are hierarchies of the security sector that have been brought to justice, no, it is not an issue. It is not a problem for the country. You know how many of our international friends and local organizations, non-government organizations are appreciating President Bouaka for such a thing?
All right, sir.
Do you know? Have you gone on social media to see how many international partners have congratulated Liberia and the president for such a high actions and decisions?
All right, Hossein.
Yeah, so just to answer, I am so much happy. When I started listening up last evening, Sam, I am so overwhelmed that I want to call on the government to continue to carry on this investigation. Don't mind this investigation. Israel will call you and will judge you for the negative perspective you brought to Liberia. Thank you.
All right. Have a nice weekend, Hussein. Hello.
Thank you, Sam. This is Edmund Carr. I'm a prime member of Concern Liberia for Justice. I 100% agree with you because when that list came out last night, I'm actually following after they faced the issue. And I was kind of thinking, I said, but why this late hour? So it is true that the president bowed down to pressure, and the next one is that they want to cover up. And the way in which they want to do, they can do that is to try to reduce some of the pressure on the government from the public. And moreover, the statement made by the police IG, and the president was a serious man, the president, this police IG is nowhere supposed to be around because he has proven beyond all doubt that he's not qualified to be a police IG. But he keeping in there because he's doing all of the dirty work on him, like he was praising him yesterday. How Bouaka can call him. You don't before police IG to come out and tell the world that senior government officials are involved with the issue of drug, with the issue of this cocaine. And previously, another DA boss went to that very information ministry and told the Liberian people in the world also that we are having people from all the 3 branches of government that are involved with drug issue in the country, and that is why making it difficult for the fight of drug to go on. And with that, what did they do to him? To remove it from the government. So for the police RG to come out to validate our argument that senior government officials are involved with the drug issue, and the way it was being flagged on their school last year, because what they had to watch your mind is the issue that they wanted to 2 point and stuff. They attack against the government and they issue about senior government officials. They drag it last year. So the government said, no, we have to do something to save ourselves. Once they got come on and say that senior government officials are into it, we got to do something. So the question that we ask is that when you say senior government official, are we talking about procurement director from General Ministry? Are we talking about procurement director? No. When you talk about senior government official, are you talking about highway patrol police? No. It's not senior government official, but then you say it's up to them. Because the Kwabo guy that we're talking about, he said he received a call to do the escort. He didn't know anything about it. So it is left for him to tell the investigator or to the Liberian people who were the senior official that called you to escort the particular job. And if anyone of them were allowed themselves to be used as a official now, it's up to them. But in my mind, you are right 100%. There is no appreciation for no president. Nothing. He bowed down to pressure, and 2, they want to cover up, and the way they think that they can do so is to try to reduce some of the tension on them. That is why they are doing that. And to honor our father, our Anthony, our Lord is for Blaze FM. Our people got them here. So you have to go there and give me support.
Yeah. He's currently on Blaze dealing with the issues. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Have a nice day.
Okay.
Issachar.
Okay.
Hello. Your line, Chief. Your line is not okay. The women's line. All right, let's try this one. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
By the way of introduction, my name is Prince DP3 Commander Colorita from Joking. All those who they fire from the government, let us sit down there and beg question for next person. This drug business, when you take it, you take someone out of this country, because when you leave the country, Interpol will send you by your country or you face question. Thank you.
All right. Have a nice weekend. Hello.
Hello.
Yep.
Yeah. This is Mr. Jetta calling from Kawa.
You are on the air.
On the drugs issue. What I want to say, I want to appeal to President Donald Trump of the United States through a embassy to come and help Liberia on the drugs business, because the drugs cartel just we are built in the country. It's not small thing to bring down. Let them help us in the country.
That job will build a cartel?
Yes, the cartel begin from Georgia administration.
So
it's still going on.
So Ellen Johnson Sally administration, nothing happened? There was no drug?
Drugs were but it will not let the cartel that is on now.
All right, Mr. You did a party, man. I see you.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Hello. The guys are interesting. When no way out, it can sound so frustrating. Women's line. Hello.
Who afternoon? Say Andrew, this is council.
Yeah, let's hear you. Let's hear you, council.
Yes, for long one, then they see you.
Yeah.
I say 2026, July 13 in the afternoon, the Republic of Liberia declare war on cocaine. I want to ask question, my son. 8 people doing investigation. Why are they in the process of doing the investigation? Then they go destroy evidence. I asked you, I was here before, some of them in the Republic of Liberia. Then they put shouldn't play with us. Our action plan. What they did, we are talking about what they try on us. They trust our king. If for 10. So we are talking they want pro it. They when they come on fly in. So we are never pro no trust in the country. So said there is a council. Council been stay for long. Council 3 years on you. The play your go now far ben missing you. How did my son? My son
Yeah,
money.
is there everybody fine? Everybody okay?
Oh no, Papa, your God was your station small man. I can be a big song. I leave you one song. I do so. I'm happy to call you today. Thank you.
All right, the council, don't worry. Very shortly, y'all will enjoy all the people who complaining again. Yet,
Hello.
y'all will start. Hello.
Yes. I'm Jim Adam. No, I just want to find out. I think you are asking to make our comment on the discussion, right?
Yes, Chief. That's it.
Yeah, but what I have to say is people are not doing us fair. The government is not doing fair to us. There were some people whose names were called, and the pressure on the government made them to come with a fake name. Another fake name, then that's not a name. $1 million they talk about it, card grabber, and where they get all that money from? Those who entrust them into such thing. A name came up, and the man wanted to defend himself. I think that defensive letter he wrote, which is Waka's son, it should have been done in the police station, where they will read what he had to say. But not something where he will just cover and start writing letter, say, I call these people. My people, what are we doing? So Waka said he coming for nothing. He didn't learn anything from there. Because even you want to do damage control, try to close the people eye. You can close somebody eye with your 2 hands and have your fingers open. They can see everything you're doing. They want to do damage control. But opening new wounds, make the wounds. How would that be it? Would that be so foolish that somebody come and say, oh, the man's son was there? Suppose that somebody else they had chosen. Okay, let's say other parties. So for me, I use the party. But you see, they have made shame in the community. The thing that they did, they can defend it small. Even the late child will be able to defend it. Here, at least, therefore, close some, maybe some Rickman, do something, let's say a high college, or broadcast son in there. Let you say something police can call in.
Did you say you are a Unity Party person?
Is it what?
Did I hear you say Unity Party?
My point here is, why can't a broadcast son go for investigation and he just had to write on a letter and burying it, and he just going by it? That's my point. Because I just know that the public have been the jury. We call name before they can come with name. We call name before. I mean, it's not correct at all.
All right.
They're not hearing anything. That's really my point.
All right.
Yes, that's my point.
Thank you. Have a nice
They're
weekend.
not doing well. Thank you. They're not doing well at all.
Okay.
The mother in the water, more and more questions they answer. Thank you.
All right. Have a nice weekend. Thank you so much. Let's go where the women's line. Let's go out of Liberia. Hello. Hello. Yes, you are on the Air Kings 88.5.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Opinto Tamamalu. Hello?
You are on the air. Speak.
Yeah, I said my name is Opinto Tamamalu, and you see, these Unity Party guys, they are very frustrated. They don't even know what to say. The other one just came on this platform accusing George Weah of bringing cartel into this country. Now you have the power to investigate who all brought cartel into the country. Your government is implanted with all the guys that have been accused. Your police director, you can see him clearly. He is involved into these things because the entire surrounding is involved. You heard certain senator telling you his son was instructed to escort drugs with government-owned vehicle, including police vehicle, escorting drugs Then you tell me that George Weah cartel. The Senate called some DEA officer days some months back. One of the officials said on the executive, the legislator, they are all involved into drugs. Then you want to share blame on George Weah. These guys, I don't know what they want to tell us. They are fighting a losing battle because they are all involved in the drugs issue. But I can tell you, God will punish them because they ran campaign on this drugs issue against George Weah.
All right. Okay.
They said George Weah was the one that brought bringing drugs.
All right.
God will expose them, and they would never go free. 2029, we will come back for them.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Let's go. Hello. Hello. Yeah, you are on the air. You are, yes, you are on the air. Speak.
Yeah. Thank you for recognition. I'm Mitch Lamo Pume, and I phoned in from Woodbridge, Virginia, USA. I want to say thank you for your splendid deliberation. And before I begin, I just want to say this. I posted this on my Facebook page this morning, wanted to have an answer. Imagine when a Billy Goat is being the lead investigator against a nanny goat for the crime which is specified theft of cassava leaf. What you think will be the outcome? Saying this is what we have been saying from the inception of this cocaine related issue. All the investigation bringing from 19 million to 317 million. We are saying that the security apparatus who are investigating or who are the investigators, they are all compromised. They are not the one to be doing so. This is why we are calling for our foreign partners, international investigators. And like you were saying from the letter that came out from the president, one of the suspects or alleged suspects there who have been suspended or dismissed in person of ACP Anthony T. Blay. I have known Blay as a young man. We went to the same school together, Samaritan Carrier School, Douala. And then we went to AMB Zion University. I'm known to be a person of a man who is now of that character. But if the government decides to put in that place and now do investigation, if you enter a family or you follow the broadcast, I don't know if you come out and speak now to validate his character or else. Why he have been implicated too? If he let slap under the carpet for the sake of protecting big names, then it will be damaging on a career forever. Play, you my brother. I see you in the report. I'm downhearted, Play. Wherever you are, your people following Play. That Kuma, your brother, for Samaritan Carrier School to Zion. Please come out and say what you can say to save your reputation, my brother. I don't know you to be that kind of character. Don't die for Gregory Como. Gregory Como is a dangerous man who has testified yesterday that top level government official. Now you wouldn't receive instruction. Don't die like that, brother. Thank you. Don't allow your reputation to go down the drain. Thank you for having me say Andrew.
All right. Good. You did well to spice up the show. Thank you ever so much. That's all the time we've got to be with you. And this is how the show resets for this week to return afresh on next week, Monday. However, you want to join us at 8 this evening for Face the Issues when Newton Tokpa and the Diaspora team will be in with Face the Issues, bringing you updates of the events unfolding from now to 8 o'clock. Too many things are happening presently. We are getting the info. Too many things are happening right now within the space of the government, the cocaine. You're about to hear something extraordinary going to happen with 8 o'clock. John Newton Tokpa and the Diaspora team when they will be in what Face the Issues. Rita, Rita say, okay, you like the guy. You like the guy. The guy summarized Unity Party Cocaine Republic, Unity Party government. Yeah, okay, Rita, here's the guy. He's available. Yeah, here's the guy.
It's in a political hogomondogos way. Yes, the Muay Thai. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political political holy poly. Tell Mr. President, we are tired of the Mendacillo setting, lobotomizing, and ignominious political political holy poly. Tell Mr. President, we are tired of the Mendacillo prostitute
and that's exactly what it is. Every Mr. President, his people putting out Mendacillo quest, meaning all kind of fake thing there, la thing there. That's what he said. Oh God. Prostitute, I use that. It's not a reference for a woman. It's the same expression years back when Tony Blair was the Prime Minister of Great Britain. Something came out, was very serious. It shook Great Britain. And Tony Blair, a BBC journalist, was covering the event here and there. So in one of the interviews, he was being interviewed and he used this expression. He said, Prime Minister Blair sexed the dossier. And it went far and wide. It's a reference for, you're using something just like you're playing love with something that is so serious, but you're just giving it less attention as if it's not significant at all, doesn't have any substance. Yeah, you're playing love with it. So the same thing, the guy say, seriously, see what Johnny the country, you did the party officials that they playing with it. Rita, you like the guy, eh?
It's in a political hogomondogos way. Yes, the Muay Thai. Yeah. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political political holy poly. In a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political political holy.
I explained the first one about prostituting a political content, but the other way, I know what it meant. Political, or
lobotomizing and ignominious political ignominious political ignominious political
What me my political? Like I'll scatter, the body go there with. I see you, man. I see you.
It's in a political hogomondogos way. Yes, the Muay Thai. Exactly. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political political Thai. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and we are in a debilitating.
And that's true. We are debilitating situation we are in now with the just business. You see how you're looking? The entire security sector, vulnerable, compromised, can't trust anybody. That's exactly what he's saying. my guy wants to rest, man. The man had to find something to eat, man. I see you.
It's in a political hogomondogos way. Yes, the Muay Thai. Yeah. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political political holy poly. Political political lobotomizing, and ignominious political political holy poly. Tell Mr. President, we are tired of the Mendacillo prostitute. Tired of the Mendacillo President, we are tired of the Mendacillo prostitute and urbanism. Yes, Mendacillo telling lies in an awful way, prostitute propaganda.
And I want you to the body people already Josie. I see you. I see you. Thank you so much for being with us. So The weekend going to be great. We are grateful to God for taking us from Monday to Friday, and Saturday going to be, it's a great one because we've got the game coming up. At least what really brings joy to us, besides the other things, the sporting aspect, we are involved in it. Football is one aspect of our life, our existence. It brings so much comfort, so much joy, great conversations. You get good friends, you make friends, all kinds of things happen. That's why we like the football game. At least we're getting back our life after the World Cup. FC Barcelona is on at 6:45. You want to watch that game, see a great player. And our new signings will be available. They will have a playing time. Anthony Gordon from England and Ayodemi Karim will also be, while we are fighting hard to get Julian Alvarez, even though Atletico Madrid is stiff-necked. But when one door is closing, God is opening another door. Thank you all for being with us. Again, join Newton Tokwa and the Diaspora team at 8 o'clock tonight. It's going to be an insightful and explosive presentation with updates unfolding. You don't want to miss out. This is how Real Talk resets for this week, to return afresh on next week, Monday, if God permits.
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.